I'll be right there. I decided I was going to do something while I am doing live stream. Very important stuff. Getting my Alan. Oh, I got to readjust this thing. This is unacceptable. Oh, what is going on, everyone? That'll hold it better. Cool. Ooh. Almost time for a beard trim. I look a fright. I need stuff. Well, hello. we got 50-degree days here for the next couple days, and it's going to be summer-ish. Not really summer, but New York summer. Oh, didn't make it loose enough. Oh, hello. What's up? What's up, man? Hey, hello to everybody. Nothing. I kind of took a lot of stress off myself because I decided I wasn't going to race Saturday. Could I have made it? Sure. Would I? Yeah, I should. I they put up a thing. If you won an event at Hunterstown, you got I think in the main event, you got a spot for the main event. So on April 4th, so chances I was gonna win something that's a pretty high, a tall task to tackle. Going down to a race like that, and it got me thinking. I'm like, no, keep with the plan. Hold off until April 4th and go down for the WKA race, just because it'll give me much more time. I'm like this weekend, I'll get scaled out, and it will just make things easier on me instead of it's March, man. There's no need to freak out yet. I leave the freaking out until the summertime when I just up and decide to go to a race. Anyway, so what I'm tinkering on here, there is the Shatter Blast. Not so much the chassis itself, but 5.3 titanium. Awesome hubs. This is my right rear. It's the dual pinch. And why are you taking it off and doing all that stuff? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I got some new doodads from 5.3 titanium. Some oil slick. As the Kyle's nuts with a Z. That's I don't swear on here or reference bad stuff. So Kyle, that works for 5.3 titanium, got into the process of coloring via science. So these are titanium. These are from 5.3 titanium, loaded in their hubs, but we are going to replace them with brand new shiny, because if I'm not going to be fast, I might as well look good not being fast. But we don't know if I'm going to be fast or not. I have with the exception of tires, all the possibilities of being fast. Good motor, good chassis, 5.3 titanium stuff, light. I got the mini gears. I got the 5.3 titanium clutch. If the screw is somewhat tight behind the wheel, and I'm in the ballpark of tires, maybe, just maybe, if I'm able to go down to the WKA race and make the main, it's a win. Those are winning it. That's a tall task. Everybody's there for the same reason, to win it. I like to. I just saw something. Was it? It was an old episode, clip from Joe Rogan, and had Jordan Peterson on there, and he was talking about a low bar. And I thought, and Joe had asked him, what do you mean? Are you not setting your sights high enough. And he says, no, what you do is, you know, when teaching kids and stuff, is an obtainable goal. And that leads to you wanting more once you hit that goal. And I was like, yeah, that I can see that, you know. So making the main, that's a goal, you know. Once you've made a couple mains, progressing further, you know, now you find some speed, now you're, you know, within the realm of the top 5 type of thing. I think it's a pretty good oh boy, these things are tight. 90 out in California, holy smokes. I can't even imagine 90. Like the simple fact that I'm out here without, you know, double layers or anything like that. Holy jeez. Maybe I won't be changing these. I'm gonna have to heat them up, get them warm. Or do I have a? Maybe I have a socket for my impact. Yeah. So, well, I'm tinkering on this. Look at this. Look at this mess. All right. So, it's those are going to be for sale. Those are the only thing that's kind of worth anything. Oh, those are all dismounted. Here are some burris that sized correctly, right from the rip. These are sized HBM Reapers. They're going to go on the shatter for scaling this weekend. That set of HBM Reapers is sized. They're good to go. We have another set here, so I'm going to take 3 sets with me. These are older. These are 2023s, 2026s, and 2025s. And then last night, I mounted these cat daddies up. I was cheap. Instead of getting a full set, I'm going to prep down a blue to go with the white Maxis. And then here are some left rear burrises that I shrunk last night. And then I was enlarging a right side. I got some more right side. So I've been doing a whole lot of tires. And not prepping. You know, everybody's all up in arms about prepping all the time. You know, whatever. You can like it, you can not like it. I happen to like it, but there has been no prepping going on here. It is all mounting and sizing for the time being. I have told Riley he has to become comfortable being uncomfortable to succeed. Yep, absolutely. If his dreams don't scare him, they're not big enough yet. Hey, are you using new torch yet? Yeah, as I said before, I think I've mentioned before that I bought that somewhat as a joke. I RV, you can see my RV right there. Is that my RV? Yeah, that's my RV. I bought it somewhat as a joke, knowing full well I could use it RVing for, you know, braising steaks if I wanted, but mostly for starting campfires or anything. It's like, I don't know, $25, $30, something like that. And I thought, well, so I don't take my race torch with me. I'll buy this as a joke. I was going to do, you know, just popped in my head. I wanted to do a video of short and, you know, like heating tires. As it turns out, way more efficient. Yes, it creates a lot of heat, a lot of flame, but my argument is that when you use a small torch, that it creates hot spots on the tire. Though overall, it's concentrating the heat and trying to get get the entire surface more heated up. If it was a settling setup or at work or at my work or something like that, we'd call it a rosebud. This is more a rosebud type, so it spreads that flame out. And yes, you can really gas it and make it super hot, but it gets away from having the point where you can superheat a certain point of the tire to where it spreads out more. And especially like, I guess we could do a demonstration. Why not? I mean, you guys have seen it if you've seen some of my shorts and stuff, but it's not going to hurt the tire at all because it's got to be heated anyway. But if I were to just do this, just takes up way more of the tire. And then as you kind of watch, because if you're using it on the surfacer, it drags the flame around, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I was doing that last night, like a whole bunch. I guess I could just put you here. But yeah, they're handy. The only thing that bugs me is I've been getting like on Facebook or something like that, or one of the social media apps. They're like, "Oh, be an Amazon affiliate," and I was like, I really wish I had thought of that way before because, I don't know how many I've sold of them, but I've had that question, where'd I get that thing? And it's just like, if I had an affiliate link for selling those things, not that I'd be making a lot of money, but some money's better than no money. That would have been really cool. I was an Amazon affiliate at some point. I signed up all for that stuff back in the beard oil days, and I think I made 10 cents for like selling something, and it just didn't work out. And they dropped me, for obvious reasons. Hey, man, you're not doing anything, you're not selling anything, but understand them. It's a cyclical, is that what the word? Symbiotic relationship. And I wasn't doing my part, so they dropped me, and I totally understand. I wish it had kept up. That would have been cool because then I would have put out a link, and then anybody buying those things. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do it, but I was most definitely a person to put it out there on the interwebs doing it. So I think it is served its purpose because I'm here to help. And even though it started as a joke, in the long run, I think it's going to help a lot of people not superheat and get hot points in their tires. And it does a fantastic job of stretching or shrinking a tire. It just is that efficient. I like it. I can do this. I gotta get these loose. Tools. It's pretty funny. I know that you guys are here for Kart related stuff, but I was at work today, and our mechanic shop. We have a mechanic shop and body shop. And those guys had scheduled in. If you know what a door check is the thing that holds your door. When you open a door, it's got different segments, and it holds it open, so it just doesn't swing freely. That's a door check, and they break sometimes. So there was a Carhartt edition HD 2500 Chevy, and at like 4:30, my boss was like, "Oh, they can't get it in. Could you, boy, that is not going. Could you go up and get it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I went, and it might have taken me 10 minutes to change that over because I do body work, so we disassemble door guards and all sorts of stuff. So 10 minutes, and my boss is like, "You're done with it already?" I was like, "Yeah, I've taken off a couple door guards." And I was like, "By the way, because the mechanics just don't do stuff like that." I was like, "How long do you think it would have taken them?" He's like, "Much longer." I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah, it is Tire City here, sweetheart. Racing. My intent is to race April 4th down to Hunterstown at the WKA. I got to sign up for that, and the only reason, like, it's I saw they keep on sharing it, like, hey, you can just sign up, so they get an idea who's all coming, and it doesn't cost you anything until you pay there, so it's not a pay online type of thing. But to sign up and get registered or start the process, and I was gonna do it, and I was looking at the list, and I don't know that I'm gonna run 2 classes. I could. They have a 360. 360 points, 375 points, and a 375 Pro. And I was like, I mean, technically, if I entered, if I wanted to run 2 classes, I could just run the 375 as kind of a warm up, and then run the Pro to give myself more track time. And I may end up doing it. I was like, it depends what I weigh in the cart. So last year, the Shatter for that race at the end of the season, I think I was, no weight on the cart. I think I was 375, and I've lost 25 pounds, whatever. So I think I should weigh with no weight on the cart, like 350. So I got to put lead weight on anyway. Do I go with the 360 or do I do the 375? Do I just run, maybe I run 360 heavy and, you know, not enter to the pro classes just because I don't think that I'm going to be that up to speed. You know, it's just Reaper tire. I won't say I'm not familiar. I've gotten a little more experience on it, but I should practice what I preach and just get laps, because that's how I learn, or how anybody learns. But it's it's just something that, you know, like, man, you're gonna spend the money to go out there and get your butt whooped in 2 different classes. Oh boy, that is on there. Well, it wasn't gonna back out. I got these 2 are starting to come out. That's cool. I don't want to put the flame on it. I can put it in the hot box, warm it up. I don't know. Maybe I'll mess with that. Maybe I'll do the other one. But yeah, nothing super pressing right now because I gave myself a couple more weeks. It does, you know, get that skill. Like I said, get that skill and stuff. I'm debating on topics for Sunday. One is front end stuff. I had a couple people bring up front end, not so much geometry, but setting up a front end, and, you know, not just loosely kind of going over, you know, for somebody who's beginning in karting, you know, what you're looking for, things like your tie rods, and looking at that. I may not show if I do that video, I may not show the shatter, only because of the noses on it. I have to take the whole nose off to get a good glimpse at it, to whereas the Phantom is just sitting there, with its front end exposed. I got to clean some filters. I got to remember to do that. Hey, I got a couple weeks. I'm good. Well, hello. But yeah, things are looking like they're. Oh, my sister's texting me. Graduation. My niece is graduating this year, so. Yeah, things are looking good. Oh, I'll show you this video coming shortly on this. I'd probably say next couple weeks. And what is this thing? What is that? What's that doing on there? So, give you a brief rundown for those of you who don't have a tire roller, and want to do internal prepping or something like that, or if you just want to rotate your rear tires, 2 tires at a time while you're doing it, this attaches to your rear bumper, and then you would put your chain around this, and it drives your rear axle. And he said he has left this thing on there for a month straight. So just to see, you know, if the motor would burn out, if it would ruin the gear or anything like that. Pretty nifty. He'd reached out last year sometime, and then just had supply chain issues and got sidetracked with other things in life. And he says he got back on building them and thought that was pretty wicked. And he just reached out, and he's local to me, and said, "Hey, you know, you mind doing a video?" I was like, I don't mind. I was about to say, yeah, I mind. No, I don't mind. I make a video for you. But yeah, that's for definitely save some coinage. Now, the downside to it, if you want to look at any downside, is you can't do 4 tires at once unless you were to, you know, have something spare set up, kind of like my old tire roller, and build something to where it has an axle sitting there, and then you could drive that. I don't know how much they are. I have to get a bunch more information on these, but obviously this thing is going to be a bunch cheaper than buying, say, a tire roller. That'll be pretty cool. I have another video possibly coming in the works here for another gentleman. Still working on that. That should be fun to do. Yeah, that's keep on chugging here. But yeah, what was the other one? I wanted to do a video on left side weight. I know I've done videos on left side weight, but one more in particular about concerning track conditions and left side weight, and you know, some variables that you might want to consider in left side weight, because I got going to Hunterstown, higher bike track. I'm going to want more left in it. I think I only had like 57 in this for our looser tracks up here. So I'm definitely going to want to increase that down there with the higher bite stuff being on reapers. And I thought it just, because of that thought process, what I got to do, I thought it would be a good idea to address that as well. Yeah. So what's going on in your life? Add a question ask sticker. Why does it always try and get me to ask you, it wants me to like type in questions for you guys. It's just like, just ask me a question. I'll answer a question. I don't need a prompt to do it. But my ultrasonic cleaner took a poop. That thing was brand new last year. Doesn't work. Well, it kind of works. It stops working when you put too much fluid in it. Yeah, it's $50. Well, what you gonna do? Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. It's like, hello. I say hello again. But yeah, I was going to ship out the, right down here, right there, the YZ250, the Bama 250 is there. Snap Ya Neck Engines is going to take a peek at the crankshaft. Let me know what he thinks about it. He does a whole bunch of two-stroke stuff for the road course, the K100s and Swifts and stuff like that. So he's going to take a peek at what it is going to entail in order to put a bottom rod end bearing in that thing for me. So that's coming. Motorworks has one of my my Motorworks clone. I just dropped that off last Sunday. That's getting rebuilt. It's just spending all my money before the season starts is going to make racing tough. But if you're not prepared, then why go? It's just like, you got to have tires, you got to have fresh engines, you got to have, be up to snuff when you do go racing. You give yourself the best shot possible at performing. And if you don't spend the money, you have plenty of money to go racing, but your stuff isn't ready. So it's darned if you do, darned if you don't. It's only money. I'm sure you know nothing about spending money, do you, Alan? Oh, Rylan. Oh, that's really cool, though. Still, Rylan going, legend and bando racing. He did really good. Alan sent me a video of him down to Atlanta. First time out in the bando, and he did really, really well. So that is super cool. Good to see. I was going to take off the other hub. So if you have any questions, I'm just talking here. Maybe I can get these studs out. Somebody really tighten this stuff on here. Who did that? Oh, I got to change the brake pads on this thing too. But I think I'm gonna make a short video out of that. I made a mistake by not letting them know these are titanium specific brake pads. I do not have titanium specific brake pads on the Shatter currently. And it was noticeable, like they spark and stuff like that. That's first thing people watching will notice, that when you get on the brakes, it'll start to spark because the material they use for brake pads is not made for titanium, but these ones are. And then also 5.3 titanium, when they get their titanium brake pads, they are, pretty darn thick. So they give you spacers. They even say, if you can kind of see it, they say 5.3 on it, which is super cool. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a short video on that shortly here. I got to take the whole rear axle out because Kyle from 5.3 Titanium has some treated rear bearings. He has a specific way of treating them, and I got a hold of them, and he wanted my opinion on what they how they behave compared to standard, or they are standard bearings. They're 206s, but if there's any, if I notice any, they roll better or anything, I already changed the ones in the right front hub, and it seemed to just right off the rip, like, you know, I put my grease and stuff in there, and just they seem like they're really smooth. Uh, yes, yeah, they're MCP brakes, but not. So it's the switch around here. It is a mini light brake system, so just pretty standard. This is mini light. It's a two line mini light, but yeah, they're MCPs, but 5.3 titanium hub, titanium disc, and then when you switch to a titanium disc, you got to get away from that. So here's the when you buy a shatter. Sorry, when you buy a shatter, you get a pretty standard mini light brake system, and this would go with the pads that are on it. They're made for steel. The pads are not equipped to handle the titanium rotor. It's just whatever metallurgy is going on there. They don't mesh well. I'm pretty, if I were to guess that the titanium style brake pads would probably work on a steel rotor, but vice versa, it just doesn't play out that well. But yeah, they're MCPs. Nothing out of the ordinary about the brake system, other than the rear axle and what I have since upgraded on that. You just get done. Oh, there it is. You lose stuff that is right next to you all the time, or at least I do. Anybody knows anything about 10 millimeters? Those are defiant little buggers. They take off every chance they get. Set this over there. Yeah, I gotta get a heat source on that or something. I don't like it when studs back out of hubs and stuff like that. So I have a tendency to over tighten them. And if you put grease on them, it would keep it from doing it. But then it also allows it to back out, and you don't want your studs backing out, especially when you're tightening nuts, especially for your wheel. I did get that loose. Cool. Yeah, slide off there. Okay. Whoop. Get the other one off. But yeah, I got to change out all these. Got to change out titanium for titanium. That's a pretty awesome problem to have. And then I also have backups, which is pretty cool too. Let's see how tight these ones are. Oh, see, that one was loose. Or looser than it should have been. That one's going. Good. Go for another. Oh yeah, all three of these came undone. Started sizing tires today, Ben. Man, I have some whack from winter storm. Yeah, I know. That's I don't know if it's a brand such as, it's not a knock on them. It's just the way it is. Brands like Burris have a tendency, the right sides especially, not to hold size. And yes, you could store them with a lot of air in them, but they have a tendency to lose their air especially over the winter. Now, I don't know what effect all that has from being stored in the cold. One might argue that, a controlled, bringing them inside, having, climate control, keeping them at a, standard temperature all the time. It may have something to do with it, but I just know full well that when I come into the season, obviously, if you're going to be running tires that you're in last year, that check your daggers. That probably, well, I think I did a video on that. I was going to say I could do a video on that, but I'm pretty sure check your staggers is a video. He asked, so would you rather run 2 brake lines or 1? Because right now I'm just running 1 brake line. I haven't noticed a difference. I had on the Phantom, the Recon, I had a single brake line. I don't know that they're there's going to be a feel difference. My opinion on it, now that you asked the question, and the thought is that a dual piston system is going to have a harder time failing if you are on a track and you use a lot of brake. If you're trail braking, if you're really on the binders, it's going to have a harder time to overheat the fluid and the piston itself than a two piston system. So if you got it pushing from both sides, you got two pistons, it's going to be a lot harder to for things to think about failing. To whereas a single line, they work fine, but one might question if you have to use your brakes a lot at a certain track, whether or not it's the best idea. I never had a brake failure with it. Then again, whether or not it's coming off of UAS and going to clone, like I have a tendency not to use much brake at all. You can say this is a good thing. You can say this is a bad thing, whatever. I just have a tendency to either lift and barely use my brakes at all or anything like that because I'm used to so much more horsepower where you have to use your brakes. I'm sure that it's going to come to a point to where I'll be at a track where even in the clone, you're going to have to trail brake. I'm going to have to use my brakes a little bit more than I currently do. But yeah, that'd be my opinion on that. Did climate control last year, not any better. Oh, okay, yep, there you go. That's anecdotal evidence, but that is evidence nonetheless. So, oil slick. Look at those things. That is rad. That is super cool. Is titanium necessary? Absolutely not. Is it super cool? Yes, it is. As you guys know, I'm a budget friendly kind of girl here. If it were up to my pocketbook, would I have titanium? Probably not. Although the clutch, I might. The most noticeable thing that I have found titanium wise is the clutch. Just from my experience, they really do spool up pretty darn good and hit just right. The Bully makes a fantastic clutch. I got no issues. I've run Bullies for years. They're the industry standard when it comes to clutches. But I will say that the 5.3 titanium clutches, it's pretty nice. And if I were to say to anybody, hey, do you think you go with the studs? Do you think the hubs are just aluminum? You could go with 5.3's aluminum hubs. Cool. They're not that much money. The titanium stuff, if you have the money to do so, it's awesome. It doesn't rust. Obviously, you can get super cool colors, stuff like that, really kind of pimp your ride out, if you will. But the most noticeable things that I've seen so far has been the clutch. I'm doing good, Doug. How are you? I see that pretty soon here, Hard Rock Racing is going to be on production model 001 is going to be on track. That's awesome. I saw you put out something about your schedule or the track you go to, so that'll be really cool soon. Are you still, or Ben, are you cutting your tires using a RAS still or not? Yes, I do not have a tire, or an actual tire cutter. Matter of fact, I do have to. I want to get the opposite of this. I want to do a video on tire cutting again, and my experience so far. I was told that the rounded rasps will hog off more. That makes sense. The curvature of them. I didn't think I wanted to go that radical, so I bought a 5-pack of flat ones. I will say this: these are more difficult to get material removed. So I want to get some round ones again, and then I want to cut. I got 2 sets of brand new burrs. I want to cut 1 set. But yeah, I'm still using a rasp. I have. Here's one that I cut in half. It was suggested to me by James Stanley that they're a little easier to hold and manipulate. But the flats, I honestly have found that, last year I tried this. These things can be bought at Harbor Freight, and they come with a blade on it. A little easier to hold on to this thing, but again with a flat, to whereas I had one round one, and those really do. If you want it like on a HBM Reaper, if you want to really get down to the dots or something like that, you got to be careful. That's what I noticed with that one that I had, but it does such a better job at really getting the material off there. But yeah, that's I'm still playing with it. I did cut. These are current cuts. Okay, and they're not low enough. For Reapers, I got them down, but this was a current cut that I did, and then obviously what you're going to notice, and that's one thing when I eventually get to do the video, is that you're going to have this texture across, because nobody's perfect unless you have a machine, a Jones machine or whatever you're using. Nobody's going to be perfect at cutting the tire. You're going to have a whole bunch of, like dippies. And then you would take your sander, and then you're just going to have to do many, many passes with your sander. I probably didn't go aggressive enough. There's one thing I want to adjust in my process, is that, working your way up from the bottom. So now that I have a big 7-inch sander, which I got it's an old buffer from work. My boss gave that to me. He's like, hey, that thing's junk. We got 2 other ones. That's cool. And it's not junk. It's just the trigger's finicky. I got some pretty coarse sandpaper, and I'm going to start off way coarser than I did, because I think I only started with 80, and I think I have 60 in that pile of pads. So I would start with 60 just to get a majority of the texture out of it, then go to 80, 120, so forth. But I worked the tire off pretty good. I mean, it turned out, you can see one of the, right here. See this? This is where I got a little too much into it. Probably not too much into it. I just wasn't able to get it out because I wasn't aggressive enough with my sandpaper afterwards. My new Hard Rock racing cart got here last. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool. So am I going to run heavy versus super heavy? Like I said, I scaled last year for that last race, and did we have to weigh 375? Or was it 360? It was 360, and I weighed 375. So I was 15 pounds heavy. It's a tiny little boring. Didn't make that much of it. My weight wasn't hampering me there. But since then, I've lost 25 pounds. So I've been checking it, periodically every week. So for the past month, 2 months, whatever, I'm right at 198 to 200, give or take what day, how much I ate the day before, stuff like that. Whether or not I went to the bathroom in the morning, all those little fun things. But, you race typically at night, so I'm not going to weigh it, I just won't be able to run super heavy anymore if this weight continues to be here, and especially with the hot weather. I'm going to start sweating more. I'm going to be on my feet more. I'm going to be out here. Chances are I'm going to drop down into the 190 somewhere, so I'm no longer going to be applicable for super heavy. And plus, I'd have to put like 60 pounds of lead on the cart in order to make like 425. I signed up last year for my local track at 400. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that either. So if I do, in fact, roll in around 350 mark, which I think is going to happen when I get on the scales this weekend, I don't mind putting a little weight on the cart, but it's going to be tough a tough sell for me putting 40 pounds of lead on the cart in order to make 390 or something like that. So that's with Hunterstown coming up. Once I scale, I'll know for definite. They have a 360 class. They have the 375. Chances are I might be suited to do the 375. I can, just put the lead that I actually need on the cart to hit that mark. We'll see. But yeah, I no longer, even though I had somebody, JC Specialties, somebody came up, they're like, oh, I thought you were a lot bigger than than you are in real life. And I'm like, is that a joke on my bodybuilding? Or is that that I just, I look a lot bigger than maybe the camera adds 10 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that. I'm 5'9", 200 pounds now. So I'm not a small individual, but I'm not big either. I don't know if that was meant as an insult or, but, uh, so do you have a video on where you place weight at? Maybe. I do have to address that, and that's probably, I always forget to make notes. You guys kind of pick my brain or get me, the left side video, if and when I do it, will kind of address it. Just real quick here, your butt means more than your shoulders. A lot of people have a tendency just to shift the back or the seat over. You will get some left side percent here or there. Okay, cool. Your mass is, I have a fairly thick upper body compared to my lower half, but it's still all my weight retains in my midsection. So moving your butt over means a bigger deal to the scale than your shoulders do. The same concept goes for where you're putting your weight. If you were to, we'll look at the cart here real quick because I like to show off the shatter as much as possible. If say you were to put weight up here, you're going to change your VCG a little bit, but it's not going to affect your left side to right side weight nearly as much. Most people right here, they took the tabs off the tubes for a reason. That used to always be a thing. I had a couple chassis with that. Buller, had a Buller Velocity. They had tabs all over the place, sorry. For putting it on the rails. That affects the rails moving and doing what they're supposed to do. A chassis is, that's why we don't bind with Nerf bars. We keep everything kind of free-flowing, allow the chassis to behave like the chassis wants to behave. They took the lead weights off of the tubes because of that point. And the connecting, when you put those weld tabs on there, it strengthens the rails, and you may want those rails to do their thing. Putting the weight on the seat emulates body weight. And it allows, if your your seat is mounted not overbound, it allows that weight to manipulate around the chassis. So the chassis is doing its thing, your body in your seat is moving along with it, and that, if you attach lead weight to it, it's going to move with you and kind of just become, you're one with the lead, if you want to. That's a weird way to put it, but yeah. I don't believe I have, but that's that'd be a good one. I was going to write that down. See, I squirrel out so many times during the day. Lead weight mount video. There. Now I have it written down. I should just keep this thing out in my dry erase board here. So when you guys percolate an idea or two, I can write them down. Weights need to be added on the scales. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can add it to make weight at the track. The problem is you don't know what effects that is going to actually have at the track. So no matter where you mount it up high, you mount it down low, you mount it for the left side, you're going to change percentages from when you scaled. I always thought it was weird when, people run not weird, but I understand why they do it. You got to put a bunch of weight on it to make, say, a 390, and they typically run 375. Well, if they run 375 and 390, they're like, oh, peel weight off. It's just like, what did that do? Unless you have scales at the track, what did it do to your setup? Because that changes. Hey, what's going on? put it on the seat because the chassis can work, and when you run 3 class, it'd be easier to change out. Yeah, absolutely. Why is my stuff not straight here? It's driving me nuts. Fell asleep last weekend, but treads at 10 PSA work great in Oklahoma. Slightly sandy clay. Nice. I mean, not nice that you fell out of seat, but nice that the 10 pounds worked. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen to me. Understand? I'm doing everything I can. Well, not everything I can. I could be doing cardio, but who does cardio? I did cardio at the beginning of last year. I probably should do it again, but I've been, these are my last weeks of weight training, like really being serious about putting on muscle. Not that I'm trying to be jacked or anything like that. It's nice to be jacked, take your shirt off. You're like, hey, what's going on? But more so that I want to be as strong as possible going into the season, and technically with a good core strength, with good upper body, even legs. I've been good, and I've been doing legs every week. Squatting, deadlifts, stuff like that. I'm hoping that my body is strong enough to not fall to the fall out of the seat gods. It's a weird way to say that too, but yeah. Really hoping that my strength kind of overcomes that. And my boss is giving me crap because he rides bikes, like Lance Armstrong-ish bikes. He's done it for years. He's like, oh, you got to do cardio. And I was like, I know. And he's just like, oh, weight training isn't the same. I'm like, this is true. But your heart pumps when you lift weights. In order to build muscle, your heart is pumping. That's why you're tired after lifting weights. Is that not cardio? And he's just like, it sounds right, but it's wrong. And I'm like, I know. So technically, I'm lifting weights. I'm doing cardio, right? It's just, the treadmill, the bike, it just doesn't interest me. It's a percent. It's done in the shop on scales. You know where it goes to get it. Races are one. Absolutely, races are one in the shop. That's, I'm not insulting anybody, but I have met so many people that don't do what we do during the week, and it's tough. It's like, and then they get to the track and they're frustrated with their performance. It's just like, man, how many? There isn't a stipulated amount of hours. I probably only put, even now it's colder out here, but I've been putting in, an hour and a half, 2 hours in the shop a night, from like Monday to Thursday. We're busy on Fridays, but then I get out here, for a couple more hours on Saturday, and even if it's a couple hours, just the little things, walking around your cart, like, hey man, I should address this. Hey, I got to size these tires. Hey, you got you're spot on with that. Races are won in here because preparation is, 90% of the game, whether it be tires or setup or anything like that. And I have talked and met with people that, they show up and it's just like dirt doesn't hurt, but it's also mean if you show up to a track and your cart is dirty, that means not only did you not clean it, which is, neither here or there. I don't care. You're going to race on dirt, but it means that you didn't check out your stuff. You didn't put the effort in during the week to make sure your stuff was before the night's race. So when things don't go your way and things, inevitably, you have a failure, you have this or that you didn't notice something was moved. That's on you because you didn't spend the time in the shop, and it's tough, dude. Life is hard. I know all too well. 8 hours of work. I go directly to gym after that. I come home. I spend time with my wife. We eat dinner. We go for a walk with the dog. Whatever it is. It's tough to get in here, but it's just something you learn to love to do. It isn't work to me because I love this. So spending a couple hours a night out whether it's just checking tire sizes, cool. Wiping a little here or there, cool. Mounting some tires, cool. It's just stuff that you kind of have to do if you want to be, you see all the people that are fast and you just think, oh, it'd be amazing to win, 2,000 win race or 5,000 win race or something like that. Do you know how many hours they spend in the garage making sure their stuff is right? The least you can do is work towards doing that. Work towards spending that. Not that much amount of time, but even if you're not a well endowed financially, that's awfully weird to say as well. If you don't have the funding means that other people have, then you should outwork them, or at least attempt to outwork them. That will improve your chances at doing better. Led 95% of the main and just wore myself out. Definitely need to work on endurance. I've been there. 2018 Grand Nationals, made the field, started 13th. That was a different race, 17th. 13th, I marched my way up to 5th place on a rail and 5 to go. That was all I had. I pushed myself to the breaking point, and I was glad to get a top 5. I had to get torn down at the UAS Grand Nationals. That was fantastic. My first experience with that. But falling out of the seat with 5 to go was rough, man. I was praying for a caution. Not that I wanted anybody back on my bumper, but also just let me breathe. You got to know what the chassis wants, tires, track, plenty of. Oh yeah, absolutely. How many days a week do you go to the gym? Right now I'm doing 4 on, 3 off. It's just schedule. Would I go more? Would I do 5 or 6 days a week? Absolutely. I only put in 45 minutes to an hour a day though. I'm pretty efficient with what I do. I'm working basically a bro split, a little modified from that, but push-pull legs. That's pushes would be chest and triceps. Push, chest and tricep, pull, back. Any kind of back workout, something like that. Do back and biceps on the same day because that's a pull as well. And then I go to legs, and then that's 3. And then the 4th day I go back to chest and I do biceps again, just because who doesn't want big, be able to, just kind of a finisher. And then Friday through Sunday are very busy, doing stuff with the family, obviously race day coming up. So I Monday through Thursday are workout days. And it's tough. Like I said, I'm not whining here, but I work 8 hours and then go directly to the gym after work. And, I used to come home, used to eat dinner, try and go to the gym. You're zapped. You sit down on the couch, you have dinner, you're fat stomach. I don't want to get. I eliminated that by going to the gym directly after work. The problem is you're pretty tired. If you've put in a full day of work, depending on what I did, I do a whole lot of sanding, a whole lot of, upper body type of up, down. I'm, body man, it's body man woes, but my battery's pretty low by the time I get to the gym. I don't know what it would be like to actually have a full tank of gas when I hit the gym and how strong I could be. But I work away around it. An ounce of preparation is worth a pound of precipitation. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter how hard you work in the shop. You can't go to the track with fire. Yeah. Yep. It's I don't dismiss people that say all kart racing is tires. I don't dismiss it because I totally understand where you're coming from. I just, I argue that, we've talked about this before. If you have somebody that is equally as good with tires, then you better have the driver, you better have the setup to accommodate those type of things. And then the argument comes, hey, if you're that good at tires, you're probably good at those things. So if you have equal, 2 things, if you have equal tires and equal setup, then it comes down to driver, and you better, use your noggin up here to make the smart moves. Yeah, I try to forget sometimes, especially when you get over your 30s, 20s, 40 laps in. 110-degree weather can be injurious if you have already worked 60 hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be 49 next month. And the working out thing is not only for my general health because I want to live a long, happy life as long as I can. I didn't always treat my body that way. My 20s and 30s were um, catastrophic for my health. I did everything I could possibly do to harm myself. A lot of partying days. I smoked for 20 years. Bad stuff. And I had Art was a friend of mine. He did auto glass, and he's the same. He was the same way. Party. He was well into his 50s, and then he just got health conscious, and he stopped smoking, and he stopped eating terrible, and this and that. Ended up getting lung cancer. Long story short, he passed. But he said this thing to me. He says, not everybody, but a lot of people actively try and almost kill yourself in your younger years because think you're invincible. And the more you move through life, the older you get, the more you want to live, the more you want to take care of yourself. And I think it's a very real thing that I've experienced, from just and it's not a small thing, but I quit smoking over 10 years ago and check that box. Stop doing just dumb stuff. Check that box. In 2020, really turned it around. That season of everybody's life where things, a lot of stuff went horribly wrong. I feel as if you could shelter in place type of thing, or you could take the bull by the horns and really try and improve it. And that's what I did. I decided that, that a healthy body will fight things. And exercising and doing boxing, I did boxing for 3 years, 4 years, something like that with my son, doing that, just getting active, started lifting weights, started to, I have a picture that eventually here I'll put out. I was staying on vacation in 2020. I had lost a bunch of weight, but I was just dad's bod, just I was down into the 180s, but just a standard human. And I thought, and now at least, I feel strong. It's like 6 years later, I'm like, there we go. You're on the right path. And it helped last year racing. I can't talk everybody into the gym, but I can't tell you how much benefit there is to walking, doing something, being more active, not sitting on the couch as much. It will help your racing. I didn't get tired. I can't think of a time last year, whether it be in UAS or Clone, that I ever got tired. And I'm like, it's working. It's been a lot of work to get to this point, but it worked. I never felt like I was going to fall out of the seat. And that's, I'm not diminishing anybody it does, because it happens. And it's possible that it happens to me again. But it was the first season in a very long time that I never even had that thought. I was like, dude, I got this. Need to have upper right. Absolutely. That's a big gut. Yeah. I wish they were bigger than they are. One of my problem areas, my son lifts as well. And, his calves don't grow like mine. Mine are seasoned. They're fair. I got pretty decent calves, and he hates it. He's like, I wish he has longer calves than I do. It's not entirely his fault. It's genetic. Or he got it from his mom. But his biceps are stout, and his old man's are not. And it's like, I was like, you didn't get the calves, I didn't get biceps, man. Who doesn't want to go, just like, I don't know, get some peaks on there. It's very tough to do when, you have certain muscles that are just like, nah, I don't want to grow. Hey, bud, what do you think of the NASCAR season so far? I'm a NASCAR fan, so I'll say I'm loving it. I think it's the best year they've had so far since the next gen car. I selfishly, I'm not a Chevy guy. So seeing Chevy not in victory lane yet, I'm a Ford guy. You can give me crap all you want. It's fine. I grew up in a Ford family, so I'm a Ford guy. So Blaney, all the peeps, it's front rows needs to get their crap together. But Blaney and Logano, Cindric. I'm a Ford guy. I have a Noah Gragson shirt underneath this. seeing them skunk so far is just making my day. I know eventually it's going to be there. Larson, they have Larson. It's going to be they're going to get a hold of the new body, and then they're going to be fast. So, but so far, I mean, you kind of the first two races were barn burners. Phoenix was awesome. This last race, even though, Denny kind of stunk up the show a little bit, clearly the fastest car, he did, he got past and he had the chase for a little bit, but I think it's been better. I think the point system really did change things. As much as, the win in you're in being gone was good, is a good maneuver. For the shabby comment, I'm playing with a kiddo. Oh yeah, no worries. Sometimes I don't speak that well, so I stammer, and then I was like, oh man, this is you were typing how I speak sometimes, so I'm like, ooh, this is very complex. Oh, I thank you very much for you guys, engaging with me every single week, all the being on this live stream with me. Like I said, just a dude in the barn. Matter of fact, the guy who dropped this thing off, we came back into the barn. Like there's no, I got no delusion that I'm anything more than a guy from Western New York in his barn. There ain't no insulation here. It's a concrete floor. I just had an idea. And as I've said before, it was, I loved watching Harold Wiggins' videos back when he's explaining camber and caster and seat placement and stuff like that. And I just wish there was more of that stuff because I thought it could be useful. Now, I didn't have a vision of what Kart 63 would become. Having so many subscribers, stuff like that. They're not in my wildest dreams that I think it would take off the way it did, but it did. And I'm here for it because it helps people. And just a little acknowledgement like that, it goes a mile because I can talk, obviously. I can talk with the best of them. But if you guys don't watch, then I'm talking to myself. So, trying to make it to MWROC this year. It's a different track. It will be a few hours away, but you can do a camper. Oh, I have worked in my brain whether or not I think I could make it happen. I think I could tow the camper and bring a cart. The cart would have to obviously go in the back of the truck because I don't have a toy hauler. But I've mapped it out in my head, and as long as I was running the clone and didn't have to run HBM Reapers, and I say that because you have to sand tires with HBM in between runs, and I would need the surfacer, and I would need my generator, and that could be problematic for carrying. But if it was just my pickup, and my camper's small, so it's single axle, tire length's like 18 feet, maybe it's 20. With the tongue, I think it might be 20. I think the camper itself's like 18. So I've thought about it. I really have. Yeah, the old PRC videos were such a hell of a, yeah, absolutely. And he did a great production, even for, back when those happened, which was, geez, had to have been 20 years ago. I don't know. It was a while ago that he made them. The production on him was fantastic. Obviously he speaks very well. He's very knowledgeable about what he does and everything. We can sleep in the back of the truck. It will be warm. So I actually contemplated that with Hunterstown. Now I'm cheap, so I don't want to get a hotel because that cuts into my racing funds, and I don't want to do that. I will go through a little discomfort if I need to. And I considered if I race this Saturday, I was probably only going to take the truck, and I was trying to map out how I would get to the track. I would kind of unload stuff from the back seat, set it outside the truck, and then sleep in the back seat. Just get a couple hours of sleep, do the race, and then drive home afterwards. And now that I may do something similar come April 4th, drive down on Friday night, sleep in the back of the truck, but because it's WKA, I'll take the trailer. I got more time to put it on the road and all that stuff. So I think I'll take the trailer to that race. But if I was going to, if I were to race this Saturday, I would have been forcing my hand a little bit. And it was going to be probably not the best idea. Um, you could pit with me, and I have that. Oh, nice. It's fun, dude. One or two beers and a good racing can't beat it. Yeah, that's I. Uh, I had Guinness. I knew that that Irish Day, St. Patty Day was coming up, and we were in Walmart, and I saw the Guinness uh, display there, and I always forget I like Guinness. I'm not a huge beer guy. I can drink beer, no problem. It's just not my go to. I'm a bourbon kind of person. Uh, and matter of fact, I found that I'll drink Jack and Coke. It's pretty good. But I prefer bourbon on the rocks, just my preferred method. But something in my brain says you look like an alcoholic if you're just drinking straight booze, and it's not overly a social drink. So you're sipping on a beer, you're at the bar, you're hanging out with your buds. There's lots of liquid to consume. To whereas if I go out to the bar with my buddies and I get a bourbon, it's just on the rocks and it's just like it's straight liquor, and it's just like it just has a weird connotation in my mind that like I tried not to drink that much. I got a little hog wild over the fall, and I was like, all right, keep yourself in check. I know a lot of my brother-in-law and a really good friend of mine have fallen to the devil that is that, and rehab the whole nine. And I not that I was anywhere close to that, but I thought, you know what, I have enough experience with dealing people with actual problems that I don't want it to become a problem myself. So I didn't cut it out completely, but I just, all right, we're chilling out for a while, one or two here, cool. But I had a little bit of a bourbon collection, and I decided I was going to drink most of it. And then I was just like, hey man, it's been a couple months of you doing dumb stuff, or not dumb stuff, but middle of the week, just kind of like, all right, cut her down. Let's get this under wraps. Let's behave like the person that you should be. uh, After races. Oh yeah. After races. One quick story. We're over an hour here, but one quick story. I went down to what was that called? Dumpling Valley. No longer a track. We're Grand Nationals, UAS. A buddy of mine goes by the name Squirrely. Squirrely is from West Virginia. Squirrely had real moonshine, real apple pie moonshine, and I had a couple too many sips of that. And that was the night before the Grand National, so we did practice the whole nine, and then had some of that. And then the next day, I didn't feel so great. It was delicious. But real moonshine's the deal, man. That was, racing and camping is fun. Depends on the track of. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's we've been on some overnight. So we do UAS. We fairly often did double races. So we'd race one track, and then camp out. We did it at Penns Creek one year. They allowed us to camp right there. That's right by JC Specialties, those you don't know. And we brought tents, the whole nine. One year I slept when I had a bigger trailer, left the carts out under the canopy, and I had a cot, slept in there. It's pretty cool. But one year we raced Selinsgrove, and then the next day we're at Hunterstown. So there was a local campground. We did the races at Selinsgrove, or maybe it rained out. But we went to the campground, and we all camped there and had food and a few of the adult beverages. And then Hunterstown the next day was rough. It was I was not prepared for that much grip and a dwindled state of Ben. Would have your back on the podcast for one of the roundtables discussions. Catch up with you sometime if you don't. Oh yeah, dude, that's one of my favorite things every week is work is work. But when I see you guys, he's talking about Four Takes and Fuel. When I see that you guys put out a new episode, I'm on it. The Jeopardy was freaking hilarious this week. I absolutely loved it. You guys, it's just I must look like an idiot. I'm at work. I'm sanding Bondo. I'm masking stuff I'm doing over there, and I'm just smiling. And it's just like, what's this idiot laughing at? And it's just like, it's you guys. You have great guests on there, and and you're all funny, and I love that. That's positivity. I dig it, man. There, it brings light to the sport. I absolutely love it. But yeah, like I said, well, 70 minutes. I always tell my wife I'm going to be on in an hour, and she goes, yeah, okay. You, she's like, she's seen it when I'm in the house, talking to you guys, and she's like, I don't understand. There's people on the other side of the internet that are watching you talk. I was like, yeah, I know. It's a weird concept to grasp, but as long as you guys are engaging, I talk with you guys, and it's a lot of fun for me. I've said it before, but it's a perk in my week. Sometimes I was like, I got the live stream Thursday, and then we get on here, and I know listening to myself talk. I'm not actually engaging with anybody, but I am. It's a lot of fun for me, and I really appreciate you guys. So, like I said, Sunday is either going to be the concept of changing your left side for different track conditions. I don't know that I have that idea ready yet. Somebody did ask me about front ends and setting them up, and just a couple pointers. Maybe that one, or I like to give you guys kind of a pre-video idea, but sometimes I don't know what I'm doing until Friday night, Saturday morning, and all of a sudden I go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. And then obviously you've seen my videos. It's stream of thought. These are the opinions I have. This is the knowledge that I have acquired from different people, different places, stuff like that. And I just kind of go with it. And if I were prepared, I wouldn't know what to do myself. And there are some videos, like the Snap Your Neck video, engine video, that I wanted to, have these details because I was representing a company. I don't want to goof that stuff up. But as far as, I think I absorb information from people just by talking with them. And if I feel as if I'm having a conversation with you guys, I think I can let the information, get the gist of it a little easier than if I were A, B, C, D. And plus, that's boring. Who wants to do that? But yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys coming by every week. It's a light in the week. Also, the weekend's coming. So yeah. All right. Thank you guys very much. New video Sunday. We'll do this again next Thursday. All right. Later, guys.